All right, hello everyone, this is Mr. Crozier. I got two questions on homework, 18 and 34, so I'm going to go over this. Hope you get most of it done here. On this one, let's start taking we have a differential equation, so we need to go back and find the solution here. So, y prime is dy dx. And if I put this over to that side, I have natural log x squared. And this right here, remember, we can always pull that down in front. That's the one thing we wanted to simplify. So really, this is just 2 ln of x. And then can I divide by 2? So we're doing all this work to simplify this problem down so we have something easy to work with. Now let's divide this over here. And I have ln of x over x dx. I'm just going to put a 1 out there. So I have 1 dy and I have this many dx's. And this looks like something that should clean up really nicely, and it's a little bit tricky to do in your head. So why don't we just do some u substitution? If I let u equal ln of x, I can make this u. And what's the derivative of ln of x? Well, that's 1 over x. And I multiply that dx over there. So now I have 1 dy, and over here, ln of x is u, and dx over x is just du, and it does turn into something real nice right there, because these two are right here, and this one is right there. So it does clean up real nice, and now I can, if I integrate it, that's just y, and then this is just y squared right over 2 plus c. Now go back and put back in the u, which is ln of x squared over 2 plus c. Make sure you're squaring this whole quantity right here, not just squaring the x, you're squaring this whole thing, because that whole thing is u. So it is complicated at first, and then when you see something that you know should be easy to integrate, and you can't do it in your head, always try use substitution. It just makes life simpler. All right, 34. Not a lot going on here different than the other problems. However, we can make it a little bit easier on ourselves. If I do this, and it's going to be a lot easier to work with fractions, you'll find. And it's going to be a lot easier to change this and factor out a -1. Right? If I factor out a -1, now it's y minus 4. And it's going to be a lot easier. And some of the problems you get some negative signs and you're not sure where they came from. That's because, let's say if I had to take the derivative of this, it would just be 1, but it'd be a -1. If I'm going backwards, integrating it, I'm going to have to put that 1 in there. So this 1 right here pops up a lot of different places. And it's probably easiest to deal with it now. To make this variable positive, it's going to make everything simpler. So let's see what I have here. I can divide this over here, so I have 1 over y minus 4, the dy. And over here now I have a -1/4 x with a dx. And the reason why it's going to be easier now, because integrating this is going to be just the natural log, right, of y minus 4, and we're not going to have to deal with a negative over here. It's easier to deal with the negative over here. So integrate this one, right, add 2, then divide by it, and it'll be easier. It'll be easier if you work with this. And remember, once you get to here, you're going to have to put the e there and go through and rewrite it. But that'll help. One other thing I noticed in the answer key is they do a lot of simplification, and different books do different simplification different ways. Even in this book, they do different simplification. So you may not be able to simplify down exactly to what you get in the book, but you should be close, or you should understand the process. I remember one problem. It came out to be the c value was e to the 1/2, and this value over here was something like, I'm just making up numbers here, but maybe like x plus 3 over 2. So what could you do if you're simplifying this? Well, if you're doing, this is just an example, it doesn't match a particular problem, but what would you do here? Well, you have the same base, so you can just add the exponents. So you just add them. Just like if I did 5 to the 3rd times 5 to the 7th, that'd be 5 to the 10th. So I just add these. and these have common denominators, so now it's y is equal to e to the 1 plus 1 plus x plus 3 over 2. And what is that? Y is equal to e to the x plus 4 over 2. And that would be good enough for simplifying it. We don't need to go further than that. So try your best to get to what they simplified. Just know that there are multiple solutions, especially when you work with this negative. There's a lot of different places to put the negative. It's going to be easiest if you try and get a positive variable over here, especially because this is going to come over here and you're going to deal with logarithms here. It's going to be a lot easier if you're dealing with a positive. Less mistakes will be made that way. All right, hope this helps with your homework, and then we'll start reviewing for Chapter 5 test.